Hello everyone, and welcome to a bonus video. Happy Friday. How was your week? I hope it was good. I hope that you guys saw yesterday's video. It was a RealReal kind of like strategy guide, key topics that I thought we should talk about the RealReal. If you didn't, it was posted yesterday. You can still go watch it. It's still there. Today is a bonus video that still has to do with the RealReal, and it still is just me in the video. We are going to be just talking about my best sales that I've had recently. I used to do RealReal sales updates like every month, I think. I felt that they got a little long and a little boring. I know that there are some people that liked them, but I just kind of felt that there wasn't like a huge chunk of people who were looking for them. So I will do one now that covers quite a few months. We're just gonna kind of do a highlight reel of some of the best ones. And really my thought process behind doing this is just so you guys can see the types of high-end, high-dollar items that I send in and what kinds will sell well and for how much money, just in case you have some items like these in your closet and in your Poshmark closet or your personal closet, and you want to send them in because now you'll see how much profit can be made on them. This is going to be just kind of like random and sporadic. Yesterday's video was very structured. I had it all scripted out and it was a lot of babbling, and this will hopefully be just a little less babbling, at least less intense babbling. It'll be a little bit more just kind of like freestyle. I haven't even taken my screenshots. I'm literally just gonna scroll through my sales and look for the highest ones and tell you guys a little bit about them and maybe like where I found them, what I paid for them, if I can remember, and stuff like that. So let's dive into this. So the first one that I am seeing is this Christian Dior wool coat. So I believe I actually ordered this online. I don't remember if it was eBay or Poshmark, but I think I paid around like $50 or $60 for it, and it actually was missing a couple buttons. So this one I did do a repair to, but it totally paid off because this item ended up selling for $316, and so I get $221.20, which means that I turned my $60 some into about $225. That is totally awesome, and I think that this actually, once I got it to them, sold in under a month. It sold in July, which is completely off season for it as well. So that also leads me to tell you guys that you do not have to send things into them seasonally. I know that some like real life consignment shops only buy stuff seasonally, but the RealReal will take anything all year. I will send them huge trench and wool coats even in like June and July. Interestingly enough, the next item that I'm seeing sold is this Christian Dior vintage silk skirt set. I know that I got this at a consignment store near me, and it was about $40, I believe, but it was for both pieces, so I thought that was a good deal. And this ended up selling for $345, and I get $241.50. So that was actually a bigger profit margin than the coat, and I didn't even have to do any repairs. That was a really cute color. I know that Dior does really well on the RealReal, so anytime that I have anything Dior, which is not very frequently, even though so far it sounds like it, but it's not very often, I almost always send it to them. They always price it really high. Dior's having like a big moment right now. The new stuff they're making is so freaking pretty, so the RealReal marks it really well, and it actually does sell really well on there as well. Up next is a pair of shoes, and it is this pair of Vuitton Rossi sandal heels. These ended up selling for $220.50, and I get $154.35. These are another one that I know was at a consignment store, and I believe I paid $45 for these. This is another brand that they do really like, and they usually mark pretty well. It can kind of be hit or miss, so you kind of have to look at similar styles when you're thinking of sending in a pair of shoes by this brand. But this is a very expensive shoe brand worn by a lot of celebrities, and I love to pick it up and send it to them. I don't think I've ever sold it myself on Poshmark, but I always send it to them. Up next is a coat, a big red pea coat by the brand Laurent. So this one is a little bit trickier, but I'm still going to report on it. So this one, they listed extremely high. They actually marked this brand pretty high, but mine didn't sell until it was marked 70% off on the website, and it still sold for $123. So I get $86. Obviously not as big of a profit as the last couple sales, but I think I picked this up for about $10 to $15. I made a post with it on Instagram. It was from a Goodwill, and this brand of coat sells for like $1,500 plus new, and so that's why they market so high. I'm not sure why this one took so long to sell, but again, this sold in July, so people still are buying coats in July on the RealReal. And I would totally send probably any coat by that brand that I find into them. I don't picture myself being able to sell it on Posh. So the next sale is a pair of shoes that were actually mine, but I guess I'll just report it anyways. They are these MCM leather slides, and they ended up selling for $210. I believe that they had turned off coupons on this item. They do that for items that they think are trendy or will sell really quick. They will not allow the 20% coupon. It almost applies to everything, but there are select few things here and there that they will turn it off for. And yeah, these sold for $210, and I get $147, and I actually got these for myself, and I think I paid like $65. So I still made money on them. So I basically could have bought them to flip, but I tried to keep them myself. I'm just very picky with my slides because some slides are so comfortable and some are not. Adidas Original slides are very comfortable. Shockingly, Gucci and MCM slides are very uncomfortable. I had to pick my favorites and get rid of the others. Up next is this Burberry dark brown trench coat. This one ended up selling for $108.75, and I get $76.13. This coat wasn't marked super high. The annoying thing with the Burberry trench coats, they used to mark them crazy high, but nowadays they're all over the board. It's probably like oversaturation really, because the vintage Burberry trench coats seem to be like a frequent designer find, not actually like common, but I feel like more often people find that than maybe other brands or other pieces by Burberry. And they used to mark them literally around like $400 or $500. Nowadays, sometimes they mark them down to like $150 right away. This one has been listed since they're kind of like drop in value on the RealReal. I wouldn't really pay up for them too much anymore. I used to probably pay like $50 or $60, knowing that they'd end up selling for like $300 plus. But now with them only selling for around $100 to $150, I would not pay up for them anymore. And again, that was a July sale, so big coats in July, I guess. Is this like a Christmas in July thing? Am I missing out on something? As I scroll through, a suede coat, a Macintosh parka. What's with all the coats in July? So up next is a wallet, and it is this Gucci Micro Gucci Sima pattern leather continental wallet. This was a vintage Gucci wallet, and again, I think this was actually from my own personal collection, but if you did see a deal on this, definitely pay up to consign it with them. This wallet sold for $207, and that was actually 40% off of their listing price, and so I get $144.90, and if I got another one of these, I would probably send it in to them as well. It's one of those situations of I would probably be able to sell it for a similar amount as them, so why not send it to them and have to do no work. And here's another example of that situation. I sent in this Prada leather pink Saffiano wallet. For them, it ended up selling for $195, which was also 40% off of their listing price. I actually had this to sell in my Poshmark. I had it listed for quite a long time, and it just was not really getting any bites. It had a lot of likes, but no one was buying it, so I sent it to them, and I will get $136.50. That's honestly probably pretty similar. I think I might have had it listed at $250, so I would have got $200 if it sold for that price, but we know Posh. I would have taken an offer, and I would have gotten less. So to get it to sell pretty quickly, I'm totally fine sending it into them and losing just a little bit of money. So if you remember the example that I kept using in yesterday's video, that road dress, it actually sold this month, so I will give you the actual genuine information right here on it. It was this road boat neck long dress, and it sold for $340. I think I was saying $350 yesterday, but I guess $340. They did not allow coupons on this item. This was a very trendy style. This is a very popular style by Rhode, and so I get $238, and like I said, I spent $65 on that, so 65 into 238 is fantastic. That was from a consignment store, and I had never tried the brand, so I did my research on it before I bought it, and it looked like it would pay off, and it did pay off. Next is a Laurent blazer, and this sold for $148, and I get $74. This was actually at a Goodwill, which is an awesome find for a Goodwill, and this was under $10. I know that. It might have been like $6 to $8. So $6 to $8 into $74 is fantastic, and that actually was not priced over $200, so I didn't get my 70% on it. I got 50%, which normally I wouldn't pay up for. This worked out. So if I see another Laurent blazer, I guess I would maybe pay up for it. So now we're into some items that sold in June. Actually, I believe that road dress and Laurent blazer were in June as well, and this one was in June too. And this was this pair of Saint Laurent sneakers. These I also had in my Poshmark for a little while, but they just weren't really getting any attention. They're kind of honestly a little boring for being so expensive, and so they sold for half off on the RealReal for $112.50, and I get $78.75. Since they were originally priced over $200, I did get my 70% commission, so I made a little bit of money on those, not a ton. I knew when I got them that they weren't like the cutest, so I didn't pay too much. I don't really remember. I'll have to look back. It was probably around like 40 to 50. So I made a little bit of money, but I probably normally would want a bigger profit margin. Up next was a brand that I had never heard of in my entire life, and it was called Rains, R-A-I-N-S, and it was this parka. It is more like a rain jacket or a windbreaker, but they called it a parka. And I actually found this back when we lived in Iowa at a Goodwill down there. I think it was about $8 or $10, and it sold half off for $75. They originally marked it at $150. And I get $37.50. I knew that that was a pretty safe bet when I bought it. Even selling half off, I still almost got 4 times my money. So I would totally do that again if I found one. The next sale was another Goodwill find, and it was this Philosophy di Alberto Ferretti wool coat. And I found this at a Goodwill, and it cost me, I believe, $15 to $20, which is pretty high for at a Goodwill, but I know this brand and it's very expensive. I also loved this coat, and if it was a bigger size, I would have kept it myself. It was like shin length, even on me, and I'm 6'3". I loved it. Like, it was such a dramatic, cool coat, but it was very tiny. And this brand doesn't necessarily do super great on Posh, and so I kind of assumed from the beginning that I'd send it to the RealReal, but I did try it for like a hot minute just because I loved it so much. And sure enough, on the RealReal, it ended up selling very, very quickly for $200, and I got $140. So if you find that brand, I would say send it to them. We will just cover a few more because I don't want this video to be too long and too boring for you guys. So up next is this Burberry London trench coat. This was a red one, which made it stand out a little bit compared to the normal like tan and cream. And this coat sold for half off at $147.50, and I got $103.25. This was kind of back when the Burberry coats were being priced a little bit better, back when it was worth paying up for them. That was probably $50, so I did double my money, but nowadays I probably wouldn't buy that for $50. And let's finish with a bang. This was a really, really good sale, and it was a bins find. So it was this Louis Vuitton pair of leather Oxfords, and they were a men's item, and they sold for $195. That was 40% off their original listing price. I assume that is because they're just normal black leather Oxfords, nothing too fancy about them, no monogram, no LV anywhere, and so I get $136.50. So turning like $2 or $3 into $136.50 is fantastic. Wish I could do that all the time, but unfortunately the Louis Vuitton is not so plentiful in the bins. Anyways, I just scared Mike. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this bonus Friday video. Like I said in the other one, give me a thumbs up on this video if you do like the RealReal content. I never know if there's enough of you that like it to make it like worthwhile, because I don't mind making it for you guys, but I just don't want to bore you people that don't care. So thank you guys for watching. Bye!